What's up, guys? This is Steven here, back out again with another video for y'all. So this one I want to get into lifestyle, okay? So like I said in the previous videos, I was in the Coast Guard, and so when I got out of the Coast Guard, worked at Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. I really didn't like it. And so, eventually I filed claims with the VA, and that's how, I'm getting money for them. And yeah, and it was a really tough transition because it's really hard to go from earning a job to begging for money in a sense. I kind of live my life as a Buddhist monk now, it's from donations and stuff like that, in a way. But anyways, yeah, how that's changed my life is just, I don't, I don't have to work. I just, wake up whenever I want and do whatever I want, and, stuff like that. And it frees up a lot of bandwidth, and it also helps me to be a whole lot more healthier, basically. I didn't start out like that, but it kind of put me in the right direction. And yeah, I struggled with depression for those couple of years, and yeah, that's a tough time. But I would not recommend y'all doing this, okay? I rode a really intense emotional wave out of my depression. Now I'm not saying I don't ever get depressed and stuff like that, but it's not my main emotion day to day. There's still little pockets of depression or sadness. I feel like that's normal for most people. Yeah, I'm not completely perfect about it, but I made a lot of improvements in a short period of time that I was able to. And yeah, and that's why I want to share with y'all, it's about lifestyle. And if you give a dog anxiety medication, a lot of times the trainer or somebody can say, okay, this is for temporary use. This is not the cure for it, okay? And that, I feel like it's a whole lot more common for people to say that for animals, but not for humans. And for humans, it's they say, oh, you're a diabetic, and you need this insulin, which is, which would be antidepressant or something like that. And, I personally would disagree with that. I personally think that people, they don't want to change their lifestyle so much. It's so painful for them. They'll do anything. They'll take medication. They'll do fucking anything other than changing how they live day to day. And yeah, I want to encourage y'all to see a different view on it, and that it is possible to change your life and change your lifestyle. Yeah, it was really painful for me. I went through a ton of pain when I did that, but it's better on the other side for sure. Yeah, I'll give y'all one more example. My uncle, he's a diabetic, and there's this one medication that allows him to eat carbs. It doesn't spike up his blood sugar. And so he takes that. So it's he takes that, then he can eat a lot of carb stuff. But now I could see family gathering, maybe like Thanksgiving or something like that, if you wanted to eat like a lot of carbs that day, I could see that. But definitely, it's not made for day-to-day uses, or it's not made to eat like crap, and I feel like people just use it like that. Not him specifically, but I feel like people can. And the pharmacies make money out of it. Like, let's make a drug that we can allow people to, encourage their bad habits, or still let them have their bad habits. Instead of saying like, no, hey, you have to change this. You need to change this. And yeah, I'm not judging those people, because I understand that change is very hard and painful. But I think for the select few, especially people who watch these videos or watching my videos, I was a little bit don't want to go that route. I'd say medicine is really good for acute pains and stuff like that. Like if you break your arm, they have a cast, and that stuff, is amazing. And I'm glad they do that. But for lifestyle choices, dude, a lot of them don't even live healthily. Like, and how can you even, if a doctor's not in like phenomenal shape and extremely healthy, then how I don't understand. Like, I feel like the business model is kind of messed up a little bit. But anyways, that's their problem. I don't exactly agree with it, but that's just my personal take. And yeah, so I'd say if you wanted to change your life, or change your lifestyle, you'd really have to start to look at what you're doing, and kind of look into the future a little bit, not live in the future, but look into the future, and say like, is this the person I really want to be? Do you want to be stuck? Do you want to be stuck working that job, that you don't really like? Now, I think a majority of people will probably, work a lot of different jobs. If you're not in a career can be very, very competitive. But I encourage y'all, there's other ways to make money, and I feel like if you really wanted it, if you really, like, if you fucking had to, if life depended on it, to quit your job and make money in a more fun way to you, well, whatever that is, it's definitely possible. People stream, people do that, and now energy levels and stuff like that can be tough. But yeah, that's when you dig really deep, and that could be the tougher part. But anyways, I'm gonna kind of cut it there, y'all. But hope y'all get what I'm saying. It is possible. And oh yeah, there's a cold spell coming up, guys. I promise y'all we'll do an ice bath video for y'all. Okay, I promise. It's gonna be a good video. All right, guys, I'll catch you on that one or next one. I'll see you later.